to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. I always tell you guys that's what we do. So let's get ready to get the show started because honestly, we got a lot to talk about today. Let's bring up one of New York's finest. My man Talent got the Red Fox Award last night. Congratulations on getting the Red Fox Award last night, T. How you doing?
I'm doing this good. I'm doing this good right here, son. This is how, let me bring that up so you can see that. This is how good I'm doing today, Frank. This is what it's all about right here. That's what it's all about, right? See the Fox logo and all that. And it's actually a big metallic type of joint. It's kind of dope. Like all stars are wrapped around it. And last night was epic.
There it is. There it is. One of his finest. I told y'all he's one of the finest. My man Fig also joined us. Fig, what's happening, bro? How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing fantastic. Congratulations, Talent, man. Like I told y'all yesterday, I got the Aunt Esther Award, and this is it. They put this together for me, man. This is the Aunt Esther Award. This is called the Fish-Eyed Fool.
Okay. My man Mike Shaw is also in the building. Mike, what's happening, bro? How you doing, sir?
I would like to thank Dunkin' Donuts for the award I got this morning. To my Indian brothers and sisters out there, I want to thank you for recognizing me and for all the service and all the money I've made you.
Yeah,
thank you so much. Congratulations, Talent. But I have to tell you, this is one of the most moving awards and moving moments was this morning getting this from Dunkin' Donuts.
And since Rodney Curry's here too, Rodney, you ready to join the show, bro? What's happening?
Walking to my office, brother.
Okay, so Rodney Perry's walking to his office. Rodney, thank you for joining the show, man. Let's get ready to get this show started because we got a lot to talk about. So, T, I'm going to ask you, see if you saw the news, man, about this Daniel Snyder news, whereas it's basically saying that the NFL and Daniel Snyder is allowed to basically keep the culture, the toxic culture on and happening. Now, the NFL is under investigation, and the government itself, the Judiciary Committee, is literally looking into how literally the NFL handled the Dan Snyder situation and everything else. So since the United States government is involved, they even threw out a speculation that the Washington Commanders are the ones who leaked John Gruden's emails. Now, before we jump into all that, bro, what's your take on all this, man? Because it's shocking and it's coming back piece by piece, but it should be headline news everywhere, but it's not like what where we thought it was. What you think?
Man, listen, this is a saga, bro. You ever heard the word saga? Saga goes on and on and on. It's like, dude, it's more components to this. Every time we talk about this, there's more components that are, just put out there that we didn't know from the last part of the story. No surprise, though. Right. No surprise. You have these toxic cultures. And I'm a firm believer in any corporation, sports or no sports, that there is no one lone wolf in any bad situation. I think corporate breeds a culture. There's a lot of people involved, and the chickens will come home to roost. And like as you're seeing right now, slowly but surely, more names, more direct, definitive, who did what, who leaked what, and all that. I don't even think it's still over, bro.
No, it's definitely not over. Here's a question for you, Frank, along the same lines. Do you think that it has something to do with the money that's being spent right now? ESPN is the reason why we're not seeing this leading. Because honestly, the game last night is a great story with Baker Mayfield and everything else. But shouldn't this not be like one of the leading stories, if not the leading story? Not on just CNN, but it should be on ESPN and everything else. But it's buried. I don't see it anywhere like that. What's your take, Vic?
It's a known fact that Europeans or white people, white billionaires, those that are in charge, do not receive the same scrutiny and vitriol that those of us that are of color. They just don't, and they're not going to do it to themselves. They happily and gladly do it to us, but they're not going to do it to themselves. They're just not going to do that. These are the people who are in charge. Daniel Snyder is a billionaire. He's an NFL. He is the owner of an NFL franchise, and they are not going to drag each other through the mud. Now they may press charges and all that stuff like that. Somebody even may end up going to jail, but it is not going to get the media attention because they own the media. So why would you do that to yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Mike Sean, what you have a different take on a lot of different things. What angle are you looking at this from? You approaching it? Do you think we're going to have more impactful things come out against other NFL owners? Because Dan Snyder ain't the first, and I'm sure he ain't the only one. What's your take on this, bro?
If you can have an owner who owns the biggest team in football, the Cowboys, be part of one of the most historical racially motivated situations where he was in the mob that stopped two black kids from going to school, and you don't make him address that. If I'm Daniel Snyder, I'm like, leave me alone. Like the whole system is screwed up. Like the NFL owners have had their boys club, and now you want to switch it and point me out with all this dirt that's going on in this league. If you want this dirt, I'm a Donald Trump it. I'm gonna turn everything inside out, and I'm gonna expose everybody. Y'all want to expose me? Okay, let's expose everything. Let's really get down with the sexism and racism that's going on throughout this NFL since its inception. So y'all better leave him alone and stop. Don't push us back against the wall before he blows the whistle on everybody. That's why ESPN is being very careful on how much pressure they put on Daniel Snyder, because you're right. Hundreds of millions, close to billions of dollars have been spent to broadcast these shows, and the last thing they need is to get this league turned upside down.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Rodney Perry, you also have a different take on a lot of different things, bro. Do you think Dan Snyder's going to spill the beans on a lot of people too? Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, he ain't the only one. We have NFL owners, NBA owners, all kinds of different owners cross the line, saying all kinds of different things about black people and everything else. But John Gruden ended up being out the league because of the stuff he leaked. But Dan Snyder is sexism. He has racist stuff. He has stuff that he did in the office that went on for decades, and people haven't said anything. And now it's coming. Here we are. Chickens are coming home to roost. What you think we expect, right?
Dan Snyder is like the great Nino Brown. He's not going down by himself. You understand?
Booyah!
He's gonna go through and unlike a Charles Gruden, he literally has dirt on everybody. These are guys. This is the old good old boys club. They all have been in rooms and watched each other do stuff that was never supposed to leave the room. And Snyder's like, look, if y'all not gonna throw me under the bus without me taking some people with me. And so we're watching that come to pass. And he's a smart guy, and he was smart enough to keep receipts.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He kept receipts. Since we talk about the NFL, man, I don't think anybody saw Baker Mayfield do what he did last night, and be able to find himself on a field, literally after being on the NFL team with the Rams for only 3 days, and then lead the Rams, to a comeback victory. I was watching the game and fell asleep when the game was 13-3. I was like, yeah, this game's boring. I woke up and saw that they had won, so I had to watch the highlights. But what's your thoughts on Baker Mayfield leading the Rams to the know-how win losers Raiders? I don't know what the Raiders going to do. What's your take?
Let me tell you something. This was amazing, and you're not gonna get me to say anything bad about Baker Mayfield anymore. Mm-hmm. It's three things in there. You fell asleep. You missed one of the most heroic endings. Let me tell you something. We thought Brady did something, but he just did that comeback in the last 2 minutes and won that game. This was even better than that. And for a guy to be fired on Monday, hired on Thursday, the day you playing that night, you suiting up that night, bro. So for this, the story was already set up on some fairy tale crazy stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I got the award. I made my way back downtown Atlanta to buy the hotel, be close to the hotel. I go into a Hooters, which is nothing but TVs, right? No more titties, by the way, in Hooters, everybody. So I go into the Hooters.
What?
Nothing but TVs. The game's on. I'm walking in with a Raider fan, my cousin Terrell. So he looks up. I don't even look at the TV at first. I just say, yeah. I said, what happened? He said, yeah, we about to win this. We stopped. Our hopes are alive for the playoffs. Frank, it was 16-3. Right. 4 minutes left on the clock. They made so many mistakes and penalties in the last couple of minutes. The biggest mistake to me was when it got down to 2 minutes, they had a 4th and 1. They're up by their own 40-yard line. All you got to do is try for that 1 yard and the game's over. They did the conservative no and said, we're going to punt. Game over. What's more exciting than Baker being fired, rehired, and this win is his adrenaline when he won was so crazy. I don't know if y'all watched it. He runs to the side, and you know how these players always jumping up and banging each other. Yo, he headbutts a player without his helmet.
Yeah, I saw that.
The player got the helmet on, and Baker's all hyped. He goes, bong, like a hard one. I know tap. Bong. And the dude with the helmet reached up and did this. He said, I know I got my helmet on. Is this dude crazy? Best part of the whole night. Incredible comeback. I'm not saying nothing bad. He got a pass for the rest of the season. I don't care. They 4-9. I don't care. Like that was. We thought Brady's was dope, but the way he did it, his 2 touchdown pass or 2 big passes that lead to that win was astronomical. Man. If he thread the needle like that all the time, we wouldn't have been talking bad about him at first.
Yeah, but Fig, at the end of the day, people are saying right now, Baker Mayfield that's not going to happen again. I question that. My thing is, do you think Baker Mayfield is going to do it again? And do you think he found a home with the LA Rams? What you think, Fig?
You know what? He may have found a home with the LA Rams, but he'll probably be a backup behind Stafford when Stafford finally gets healthy. But the funny thing is that they talk about Baker Mayfield like he's a scrub. This is a kid that walked on in high school, got the starting job. He walked on in college, got the starting job. When he went to Cleveland, people said, oh, he was going to be a buzz. He wasn't going to do this. Cleveland went from a 1 to 2 win season team to making the playoffs. Then they fall out of graces. I kept lamenting him before, like this kid got injured. And y'all putting all this pressure on him to play at a high level, injured. So you say, all right, he's no good. We don't like him, blah, blah. He's not living up to the hype. You move him over to LA, and Talent just gave you the story, man. This kid, he does it again. Here's the thing about Baker Mayfield. It seems as though when the odds are stacked against him, he always seems to rise to the occasion. This is his MO. This is his history. It's been documented over and over and over again. When the odds are against him and everybody is stacked, when the chips are stacked against him, he seems to always come through heroically. Can he do this again? I'm not exactly sure. But guess what? If I look at his past, I say it's a strong possibility.
All right, Mike Sean, how did you look at the game? You look at Baker Mayfield, former #1 draft pick, Heisman winner. He led the Cleveland Browns to one of their first winning seasons in decades. Do you look at it like he's washed up and done, 3 years removed, or what was your take?
No, I think the Raiders are idiots. I think there are certain football players that are dumb as doorknobs. Let's talk about the Brady comeback. The Saints running back catches a pass out the backfield. There's nobody near him. All he has to do is get the first down and the game is over. You know what he does? He steps out right before the first down marker, and the teammates are looking at him like, what the did you just do? Right. Last night, none of this happens if the Raiders don't do everything wrong. Once again, another dumb as a doornail. Even after Talent said they should have went for 4th and 1, which he's absolutely right. They sack him. They sack Baker Mayfield, and the game is over. But a dumbass defensive lineman decides he's going to smack the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hand. Now it's a personal foul, 15 yards. The game is over. Mm-hmm. He does that, and they get a new set of downs and first down, and the miracle happens. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't know who's coaching these guys. I don't even know if you can coach that out of a player. That type of stupidity needs to have you on.
Should that have been called that personal foul?
No, it shouldn't have been called, but you know it's going to get called.
Right.
You know it's going to get called. And you want to rub this in his face instead of taking the victory. You're on a 3-game win streak. You're on your way to winning the 4th game in a row for the Raiders. And you do something stupid like that? Like those little things, like it's ridiculous how these comebacks have been allowed to happen off of stupidity. Tom Brady never comes back if that guy just gets the first down. Game is over. They run the clock out.
Right.
The Raiders do the same thing. It's over. The Rams are done. It's infuriating watching guys do this because of their egos. Yeah. Well, the second one is ego. The first one was stupidity. Second one is ego. I just want to get at Baker Mayfield and smack the ball out of his hand because I'm really that tough. I'm 300 pounds. I'm going to smack a football out of his hand.
Yeah, I saw that
Hey,
part.
Frank,
Like,
you know what? This is the same type of play that happened 2 weeks ago when the dude caught a touchdown to win the game and then took his helmet off and he got penalized. It's the same type of play.
Rodney
Bonehead.
Perry, what's your take on it? What's your take on this whole situation, bro?
Well, I don't know if it's the same as anybody else, man. I think Derek Carr is a piece of doo-doo, man. I've never been a fan of his. Devontae Adams, who is a stellar wide receiver, is looking pedestrian this year, and the Raiders don't put up enough points. That's why something like this could happen, of course. And their defense is a bit suspect too. So I was in a bar. I looked up. I was like, okay, Raiders got this.
Yeah,
They did not
me
have
too.
it. They did
Me
not
too.
have it. They did not have it, and this got to rest on the shoulders, firmly on the shoulders of the quarterback that's squandered it, and the defense. And is it Baker Mayfield or is it an inept Derek Carr? I say it's an inept Derek Carr.
Okay, all right, that's one way of definitely looking at that. Derek Carr did stink up the whole place last night. I ain't gonna lie, that interception in the end zone was something else.
I thought
so
y'all proved it.
And your boy Josh McDaniels is trash too.
He ain't my boy.
He literally thinks he's Bill Belichick. He really thinks he's gonna hold on. He's
not.
gonna hold on to a 13-3 lead and the game is over. He only let Derek Carr throw the ball 20 times. Like Taylor said, Baker Mayfield was in town for half a day and he threw the ball 34 times, like 35 times. Like, dog, what are we doing? This is 1995.
Right, so let's go through some of these NFL picks, man. I'm gonna start out with you, T. So the Giants are facing the Eagles this week. The Giants are kind of they're in a situation whereas they obviously trying to fight to get to the playoffs and everything else. The Giants face a Eagles team that is 11-1 right now. Do you think the Giants are going to be able to bounce back this week and be able to get a win against the Eagles? Because the Eagles they on a tear, bro. Like T, they on a tear. So
but I think these division games are the exceptions to the rule. And they've been flying so high. This is the one game that I'm not putting money on this week. It's a trick game. Like if coulda, woulda, shoulda, all the money goes on Philly. But being a divisional game this deep and scratching at the playoffs, I think it's a trick game. I say, I think the Giants at home are going to pull it off.
Oh, okay. So you think that's a good way for you to look at that. Let me ask Fig about let's see. Fig, you got the Browns. The Browns are facing the Bengals this week. The Browns are facing a very tough team. Obviously, the Bengals and Browns face each other again. When they face each other, really, you know what I mean? They be neck and neck. You know, division type of stuff. When you have Deshaun Watson now back and he's facing Russ and everything else, who you picking? You got the Browns, you got the Bengals. Who would you pick?
Man, the Bengals just seem to be an all-around better team, although the Browns will get better. I just don't think they're going to do it this year. And then, like you said, it's a division rivalry, and I don't think the Bengals will overlook them. I think they will give them their best game simply because they're all right there in Ohio. You know what I mean? They like right next door to each other. So, like Talon said, with the Jets and the Giants and the Eagles play together, those division rivalry games, they bring something else out of a team that you ordinarily wouldn't see if they wasn't playing within their same division. So there's a lot of animosity, and I don't think the Bengals will overlook them, and I think the Bengals are a better team. So I got the Bengals.
Okay. Mike Sean. Let me pull up Mike Sean up here. Mike, the San Francisco 49ers right now are playing against Tampa Bay and the Bucks this Sunday. The Bucks have to win because obviously if they lose, they're falling back further and further out of playoff contention. Mathematically, they're still in it because they're leading their division. And San Francisco 49ers don't have Jimmy G. They got that Gertie kid and everything else. How are you looking at this right now? What you think who you got? The Niners and the Bucks?
I got the Niners and Purdy. I got them. I think a lot of the announcers didn't want to even bring it up how Tampa Bay was booing Tom Brady. That was the first time I ever heard a home crowd boo Mr. Tom Brady. That defense is ridiculous. I think if Tom Brady thought he had problems against the Saints defense, he's going to have a hell of a lot more problems against the 49er defense. So I would take the 49ers. It's hard to bet against Tom Brady, but I'm not putting money on it. This is just my view and opinion. So I have nothing to lose. So I'm taking the 49ers on this.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And Rodney Perry, we got the Ravens versus the Steelers this week. The Ravens and facing the Steelers for the first time in a minute without Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson obviously their QB and everything else. But here's a great stat. The Raiders are a below 500 team without Lamar Jackson. They've only won out of they're 6-20, I think it was 6-18 without Lamar Jackson and everything else. And they playing obviously a team that they go neck and neck at each other all the time. What's your thoughts on the Ravens and Steelers game this week?
I mean, without Lamar Jackson, the Ravens get real regular. Like say for instance, some girls are really pretty, right? And
his wife this thing out. See that? See what happened? Oh, okay.
That was somebody from Cleveland. Look, you got a pretty girl. She's gorgeous. She got she's got a great body. And then there's also some girls that just aren't pretty, but they also have great bodies. And then you have other girls that are ugly. And they have bad bodies.
Facts, Rodney. Facts.
I say all that to say.
Yeah, please.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
I say all that to say I just wanted to talk about hoes.
Oh my God.
You know what's funny? It's a word we don't hear every day no more. It's ugly. So it almost sounds like we need to bleep.
It almost sound like a curse.
Right?
When
he said ugly, I was like, oh.
As long as you're not directing it at any individual, you're fine.
Hey Frank, Rodney went to the barbershop and got the young Abernathy, and he's coming here with a dose of truth.
All right, so we bring in T. Let me ask you, man. Right now, we're looking at this best chance to make the Super Bowl. Everything else right now. Before we get ready to bring with the sit your ass down segment, my man is coming in there. Before I know the team you want to pick, but I got 3 teams I want out of the NFC. Who are you looking at? Because everybody's saying what they want to say. Best chance to make the Super Bowl out of the NFC, is it the Cowboys, the Eagles, or the Vikings? And who your team is and why? Between the Cowboys, Eagles, and Vikings, who's the best chance to make Super Bowl?
I think the Vikings, because out of all those teams, they're the only one that I seen can play clamp down defense. Mm-hmm. They stood toe to toe with our defense, and that's hard to do. When you look at the Jets and how they're dominating the league with defensive plays, like it's almost like you don't want to watch our games because you're going to score field goals all day. The Vikings, however, was the exception to that rule. They matched that defense and raised us on offense. So I would pick the Vikings for that reason there, because all 3 of those teams you named, they can all air it out. They all got decent run games. But when it come down to you stopping your opponent, I like the Vikings' defensive chances above the other 2.
Did you see the Cowboy Viking game?
Hold on. That's a fig. So
that was a fig, Mike.
Fig, in your opinion, Cowboys, Eagles, or Vikings, and why?
This pains me to be able to say that. You know what? The Dallas Cowboys are actually good on offense, and their defense is good too. And that's kind of scary. They got that kid, Micah Parsons. People are calling him the second coming of Lawrence Taylor. And this kid makes a difference on the defense, man. On the defensive side of the ball, they got Dak, they got Zeke, they got this other kid. I think this may be Dallas' year to win it, to win their division, and because I think they play the Eagles this coming up shortly, and if they beat the Eagles, man, they'll probably end up winning the division this year. Not the Super Bowl. I ain't saying the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you seeing the Super Bowl. Who do you take out of those 3 teams to get to the Super Bowl?
Oh man, well then I pick the Eagles, because the Eagles You know.
So you say all of the Eagles. That's funny.
Yeah, man. Because I thought. Listen, when it comes down to Dallas, I think when the chips are the highest, they fall apart.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Even though they're good, I think they fall apart when the rubber meets the road. So I would pick the Eagles.
Michael Sean, you got 3 teams to pick that's gonna make the Super Bowl out of the NFC. We're looking at the Cowboys, the Eagles, or the Vikings. And like Fig mentioned, there's a big game coming up between the Eagles and the Cowboys around Christmas. I think it's on Christmas Day. Who you got to come out at the NFC coming in to go into the Super Bowl?
I'm only saying this because Dave is not on here. Else I would not admit to this. But the Eagles have leaps and bounds. Their offense is ridiculous right now. When they had to run the ball, they ran the ball with some historical numbers. Then they played the Titans. Jalen Rose went for running for 100 yards to pass for 300 and close to 90 yards against the Titans. Every time, look, we have hated on the Eagles the entire time. We all are like, yo, we move the field, the goalposts further and further when we talk about the Eagles. They're 11-1.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, their offense is running on all cylinders. Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate, but nobody wants to give him the credit. They literally put Miami in front of them in the power rankings 2 weeks ago. Miami loses, Kansas City loses, and the Eagles win, and they still won't put them in the top 2. Like, I don't know what the hate for the Eagles are, but I can't stand the Eagles. But if I had to, first of all, I'll never count on the Cowboys because if you run the ball consistently against the Cowboys, it's a problem. I'll never count on the Cowboys right there. Minnesota, to me, is a fraud because Minnesota lost to Dallas and the Eagles. Like, I don't trust the Vikings at all. Like, to me, the Eagles right now in the driver's seat, they're going to have home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. You don't want to come to Philly. Them fans is ignorant for real on a higher level. Them fans have intimidated Michael Vick, have intimidated a gang of quarterbacks who thought they were going to come in there and do their thing. I don't like them. I hope the Giants beat them. We probably won't, but my pick is the Eagles.
Okay, with all that being said, Rodney Perry, what's your take? You got the Eagles, you got the Vikings, or you got the Cowboys? And a lot of people are saying, and even though I don't agree with this is the Cowboys' easiest way to get to the Super Bowl because the only team they got to get past is the Vikings. But what's your take? Who you got?
I still like the Eagles, man. The Eagles are still making a mockery of this whole division, man. They're playing great top to bottom. Of course, we've seen the Vikings play some stellar defense, but they're still the Vikings. It's like they always are just missing something. You know, they aren't the Cleveland Browns. They aren't another doo-doo team, but they always have that one thing that they're missing. And I think they're missing that thing again this year. The Cowboys, the world would like to see the Cowboys do good.
Okay, sorry.
Right. But it's rumored that Brittany Griner is going to be quarterback.
Let me bring in my man, Bo Smith, Maurice Smith. Got man with the sit your ass down. Bro, how you doing, bro? How's everything, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. What's going on, fellas?
Land yet.
You got your 3 minutes, man. Let me see what the sit your ass down segment is today, man. Go ahead.
Oh, all right, yo, started off right now. Las Vegas Raiders, sit your narrow ass down. How you gonna let Baker come in with less than 36 hours to get ready? A defense without the star player. They didn't even have their star player, Aaron Donald, and they lose. They blow a 13-point lead. It's not like there's no tape on Baker because a lot of teams lose to the second-string quarterback because they don't have tape on them. Everybody got tape on Baker Mayfield. The Raiders started this year with talks of a big reunion between Carr and Adam. You know how they say if you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's meant to be. I don't agree with that crap. If someone I let go comes back, that just means to me, didn't nobody else want your ass either. Sit your ass down. Trey Young, sit your bald-headed ass down. I'm saying this right now. I'm mad because he came to the New York Knicks Madison Square Garden and had on his sneakers King of Broadway. Now, that's disrespectful, not just to the Knicks, but to great visitors that have done things at Madison Square Garden. Fig, I know this is gonna hurt, but here's some things that happened at the Garden that's better.
You don't have to tell us. You don't have to remind us. Mo.
Go ahead, Mo. Spit it out.
Here's some great things that happened at the Garden that were great accomplishments. The top 40 greatest comebacks. Number 20, Reggie Miller, 8 points in 8.9 seconds. We're at the Garden. Kobe Bryant dropped 61, 19 for 31, 20 from 20 from the free throw line. We're at the Garden.
Shut his mic off.
Michael Jordan, 55. We're at the Garden. Steph Curry becomes the all-time three-point shooter. We're at the Garden. Trae Young. Just take some of that money you got, Trae Young, and get your head fixed so you don't be coming into the game looking like Edith Bunker from All in the Family.
Nah, you got a whole list.
Odell Beckham Jr., sit your ass down. He tried to play Jerry, and I'm not even a Jerry fan, but he really tried to play Jerry. Like, look, I ain't going to work out for you, but give me a contract. Jerry was like, son, I wouldn't give you a toothpick even if I owned a lumber yard. Sit your ass down. And my last one, because I did it before, I'm going to do a repeat because he wasn't here, Rodney Perry. Sit your ass down. Don't even look surprised. Wait till I hit you with it. In 2009, you was doing some online streaming like a pimp at 2 o'clock in the morning. I inboxed you saying, I'm a comic trying to get into the game, and I'd love to learn from you. You was like, give me your number, and you would get time, you hit me back.
Dude, this time
I'm busy.
Second time you brought this up.
Well, he wasn't here. He wasn't here the first time, Frank. 2009, 2009. No, sit your ass down. No, I'm just messing with you. I know you
I'm
help a lot
actually
of,
sitting down
I
right
know
now.
you
That's
help.
crazy.
I know you help a lot of people, but that's my segment of sit your ass
Hey,
down.
let's chat
fellas.
today. Let's talk today.
Yeah, let's talk today. He said I'm free. I've been busy since
I'm
then.
wide open today.
Today is a good day.
In the AFC picture, right? We got the Bengals. You got the Titans. You got the Chiefs and the Bills, right? That's and it's tight right now. Out of the AFC, since we talked about the NFC, who's going to best chance to make the Super Bowl. Out of the AFC, before we talk about the NBA real fast, because we got time. Who do you think is going to make the playoffs? I mean, make the Super Bowl? Because the Bills are up there, the Chiefs are up there. Believe it or not, the Ravens are tied up there too. But you know, out of the top three right now, the pros are picking the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Titans. Even though I think it should be the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Bengals. That's what I think. But who do you think are the top three out of those top three is going to make it to the Super Bowl, G? I know you're thinking the Jets.
That's a tough one. I would go with Mahomes and the Chiefs. Out of those three, I would have to go with them. The Bills have become a real 50-50 right now. They've kind of dropped down to a 50-50 team. They're not as dominant as they opened the season as of late. And definitely the Titans. I like the Titans as a sleeper team, but just a sleeper. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to, Mike said it last time, about somebody being able to put a bunch of numbers up and put the offense out of reach, that would be Mahomes, the real MVP.
Okay. All right, there it is. Fig, give me your three. Out of your three, give me your pick coming out of the AFC. So right now you got the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Titans right now, even though, it should be the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals. What's your three?
Well, here, Frank, being out of New York, man, I love bagels. So I would say bagels, but when it brings all down to it, man, you just got to go with the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Because they got Patrick Mahomes over there. It seems like they're getting it together. The only thing that scares me about the Chiefs is their defensive secondary.
So are you calling the Cincinnati Bengals bagels? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, the bagels. Yeah, I love bagels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can put a lot of things on a bagel, but the Cincinnati Bagels are not probably going to do much because they're from Cincinnati, but they're going to mollywop the Browns.
Okay.
They're just not going to do anything overall. So I'm going with Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, boy.
All right, let me see Michael Sean. Out of those three, you got the Bills, the Chiefs, you got possibly the Titans or the Bengals. Who you think is out of those three? Who you think?
Yeah, take the Titans out. They shouldn't even be in this conversation. Take them out off the door. I'm going with the Bengals like I did last year when the playoffs started. I think the Bengals are going back to the Super Bowl. They are the Patrick Mahomes kryptonite, and they can beat Patrick Mahomes whether they're in Kansas City or Cincinnati. It doesn't matter. So I got the Bengals. I got a healthy wide receiver core that I think is the best in the NFL. And I'm going with Joe. I'm going with Joey Burrows.
Yeah, Joey Burrows.
That's my dude over there, Joey Burrows. The Bengals and everything.
Yo, he's not from one of the boroughs, though.
He's
Joey
not from
Burrows
a borough.
It's the hottest team right now in the AFC. My man, Mr. Rodney Perry, Uncle Rodney. You got the Dolphins even if they're in there with the Bengals. They both are 8-4, so they get the same slot. But Chiefs, Bills, who you got coming out of the AFC? Chiefs, Bills, Bengals.
All right, let's look at the process of elimination, man, and the smoke and mirrors, man, that the Bengals put up. It's beautiful. I mean, and I know Joe Burrows looks great. He plays all this incredible clutch football, but still the Bengals, man. Have you been to Cincinnati? It is bad. Richard Pryor once said, "Who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes?" Okay. The Bengals are not to be believed. I think Tyler said it best. Kansas City is still a front runner. You know, they still got a great player. They're healthy, and they're coming to this part of the season at a great time. I can't bet against them. The Ravens don't have a QB. The Bills find a way to lose. I can't put the money on Titans because who's quarterbacking out there?
Ryan Tannehill.
Exactly. And KC, I when in doubt, pick the best quarterback, and he is the young man is still the best.
Okay, my man Mo was joining the show. Mo, who you got coming out of those three in AFC, man, represent the AFC in the Super Bowl? Who you got?
Man, listen, I got Buffalo. It's Buffalo's year. They had their ups and downs. They getting healthy at the right time. They about to spark it off. They run the ball good again. It's gonna be Buffalo. Telling y'all now, watch out. Even though their New York ain't my New York, it's still gonna be Buffalo coming out the AFC.
All right. So let me keep moving. T, before I talk about the Celtics Warrior game, that's a big game over the weekend. I gotta bring this up, man. Victor Wembanyama, this kid who's 18 playing in France, he's averaging 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 blocks in the French league right now. The Orlando Magic, Houston Rockets, and here's the scary part. OKC are all the 3 teams leading to land him if obviously everything was to go up with the worst team right now. Where do you think he's gonna land at? And I'm gonna throw this out there, man. If he lands up there with OKC already got Chet Holmgren. They would have the tallest, backcourt because both of those dudes want to play. They both want to play guard. You know what I mean? Chet Holmgren 7'2", Victor Wembanyama is 7'4". Where do you think he's gonna land at, man? Because people are saying he's the second coming of LeBron James.
God, I don't think it matters, Frank. He's playing in France.
Okay.
I averaged 50 1 year in France. When you average over 30 some points in France, you get a year's supply of toasted croissants. It don't even matter. You got to come over here and play with the big boys. I'm one of those dudes, man, and for rightfully so, because we can pull out the long list of people who dominated high school or dominated college and then got with the big boys, and we like, where are they? Big country's driving tractors right now. So the young man has to come, still prove himself here. Those teams you name that are in high ranking of him landing there, that's the worst thing that happened. I know the system's set up for a reason the way it is, but that's the worst thing that can happen to phenom players. If you are a phenom, you come into the league and you get on one of these bottom feeders, it's a no good thing. I just hope the guy stays healthy, gets here, able to bang with the big boys, stays healthy at least 3 years so that he can have his pick of the litter to really truly shine through. I hope he's always cracked up to be. Right now, we're watching tapes from France.
Okay.
Keep in mind, they can't even build buildings that go straight up, Frank. The buildings are leaning.
Fig, are you like T? It's showing no respect to the are you like T? It's showing no respect to the overseas leagues?
No, not it. Well, I can't say I can't show any respect to the overseas league, but when it comes to France, man, who's the French phenom that's come to the NBA and done anything
Exactly.
significant?
Tony Parker.
No, Tony Parker wasn't a phenom. I mean, he was a really good guard, but nobody was talking about Tony Parker as like the greatest player
Hell
ever.
no.
That's why they talk
America's more
about.
excited about French fries, big.
Yeah, and listen, the greatest.
That's true. That's true.
The greatest thing to come out of France is the fries and the toast.
Facts.
And if Wembanyama don't live up to his billing when he comes to the United States to play basketball, that's exactly what he's gonna be.
Right.
Toast.
Okay,
I think the kid has a lot of potential. He's 7'4". He has a handle. He can shoot from the outside, and he plays defense. But he's really, really, really slender. He's like Kristaps Porzingis when he first got to the league. I mean, he did decent, but he didn't make no super noise.
Yeah, but don't forget what's his name out of Milwaukee came over from that French league, that Greek league too. Look at how he dominated too.
Giannis.
Giannis is African. He came from Greece. He went from Africa to Greece, and then he came to the United States. But that's an African boy.
He played in the French league with the Greek. He was Greece playing in the French league and came here. That's where he got drafted from. But Mike Sean, what's your take on this, bro? What do you think right now?
African.
I just, when you put this projections on these young guys and say that they're the next coming of whoever, this whole next coming of LeBron, like why do y'all put this on these guys? Like just say he's talented, say NBA teams are interested. Stop saying he's the next this. I remember Stephen A. Smith literally sat on ESPN and said Ben Simmons is LeBron James. I'm seeing LeBron James and Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he did.
Let the dude come over here, get his feet wet, and he might be something. But to say he's this or to say he's the next Kevin Durant or the next, we're talking about elite players that we're gonna put down in history that we're gonna talk about 15, 20 years from now. This kid is staying in France. Listen, I'm not going to disrespect overseas or leagues outside the country, but Dwight Howard is averaging 50 points and 50 rebounds right now. So listen, I mean, we got to slow down.
Yeah, but he's playing with people who are 4'2". That don't count.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a whole different world. Like Taylor said, it's a whole different world when you come here and you there's a pick and roll, and all of a sudden your 7-foot ass is now facing Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different story.
Let me see what your take is about the European League, because this kid is 18. No one's ever done it like this, what he's doing in the European League. He's averaging 31 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 points in Europe. Europe is like the second best league. And if we all keep forgetting, the European boys ended up beating the NBA pros not too long ago in the Olympics. Rodney, are you still with me? You awake?
No, I'm listening. You asking the long question. I'm listening.
Okay, but you was falling asleep. That's why I had to stop.
I was not falling asleep. I was trying to stay focused.
He's taking notes on the question.
Oh, that's what you're doing. So, Rodney, you think this dude is the second coming or what? You think he's the dude?
No,
I'm sorry.
What I wrote down while I was listening, Frank, I wrote the phrase "you can't teach height." He's a big guy. He is gonna have an immediate impact in the league, but we don't know a lot about him. He's slender. He has no real muscle tone, and he's gonna need that even at 7'4". The long and the short of it is, I don't know if people are going to be clamoring for him, but you can always use a 7-footer, and the NFL, I mean the NBA is notorious for at least giving tall guys a shot, and so I look forward to seeing what this guy has.
I do too. This boy got handle. He can shoot. He has point guard handle. He literally crossed up a couple people. If you can find the videos, it's easy to find. He's, like I said, 31 points, 11 rebounds.
But a crossover at 7'4", I can get.
Okay, but he's 7'4". What's your take, Mike? I mean, what's your take, Bo?
Man, I want to see when he gets here. I've been hearing about him. I watched the YouTube clips, but I want to see when he gets here. What's he going to do? Can he handle the grueling schedule of an NBA schedule? A lot of these guys that come over here. I mean, Yao Ming was a phenom coming out, played in a good league, but they break easily. They break easily.
Right.
I'm not going to disrespect the European League. They got a lot of great players, but a lot of them break easily.
Frank, here's a player that I want you to listen out for. Y'all, anybody that don't believe me, write it down. This kid name is Scoot Henderson. He plays with Wembanyama. Watch that kid, because when he comes, that kid got a game. Scoot Henderson. Check him out.
All right.
So is it Scoop with a P? Scoop?
SCOOT with a T, Rodney.
So they got it on the same team. They got a Scoop and a Wembanyama. Okay, don't be the announcer on that game.
So, T, we got a big game for this weekend. Saturday night, we got the Golden State Warriors, and we got the Boston Celtics. It's supposed to be the biggest game of the weekend. Who you got and why?
I got the guy wearing the kufi, the Benyamaka.
See,
what's his last name? Benyamaka. You know who's gonna win that game, man. Come on. I mean, this ain't even worth talking about. The Boston Celtics, they in a zone right now. I need you guys to lose 2 or 3 in a row. Then we can start talking again. Then you level out. Right now, in a high zone, one team's in a, I don't even know can we call it a low zone, because the output is there for Golden State, but they lose.
Well, they're playing at home. They 2-11 on. They 2-8 or 2-11. No, 2-11 on the road. I think.
Frank, I don't care if they're playing in your house.
Damn.
Boston Celtics are clicking on a high in all levels and cylinders right now. And at the same token, these guys, that's what's so strange about Golden State's losing right now, is because when you look at the losses, other than the exception of 1 or 2 games here and there, they're not out. They even have the lead in the last couple of minutes, exchanging leads, but they still end up with the L. So the production is there. It's just not coming. I guess it's not a well-rounded production like the Boston. When you look at every time the Boston Celtics win, I go right to the box scores, and I see that 5 or 6 player double figures. That's a team. When you can go to the box score, you got 5 or 6 people in double figures. That means your team is playing like a team. When you go to Golden State, half the time Clay's missing in that box. A couple other players. You're lucky if you get that 3rd and 4th. I don't even think it's something to talk about yet. I know we're hyping it up because it is a rematch of the finals we just watched. Those are 2 teams. Boston.
Okay. He said all that to say Boston.
But for all those reasons.
Okay, Fig, what's your take on this biggest NBA game over the weekend?
I think it's a lot of hype. I think it'll be great because it's the rematch this year of the NBA Finals. But I think right now Boston is better because the Golden State Warriors are still acclimating their young team and building up their bench. They're gonna give them a good game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout or anything like that, especially if everybody plays. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for everybody to play. It'll be a tight game, but I think right now Boston is probably the better team. I'll see what happens after the All-Star break.
Okay, Mike Sean, what's your take?
Real quick, I want to apologize yesterday for my mistake saying James Wiseman wasn't injured. He was injured. I think Boston, everything Talon said about Boston is correct. I think they're going to win the championship. But I do want to say one thing we talked about yesterday. I don't think Golden State's a panic, but I did make the mention that Golden State's going to make a move before the All-Star break. And Sports Illustrated put out an article December 7th saying that they offered James Wiseman to the Spurs, and the Spurs said no. Then they tried to throw in Jonathan Kuminga, and they said we don't want him either, because they were trying to get the big man from the Spurs to come over to Golden State. Golden State's in a flux right now where they're realizing the young players, they may have overhyped the young players that they had on that bench. So this is a problem right now. The Golden State general manager and the front office are realizing that they cannot lean on these 3 to carry the weight for an entire season and through the playoffs. And Steph is balling out. Steph is feeling what it's like to be LeBron when LeBron was scoring 30 and getting 15 rebounds and 8 assists, but the team around him just wasn't the same. So I mean, Boston's in the driver's seat. If y'all blow this is your shot. Y'all should be able to run this all the way to the finals and beat whoever comes out the West, which I think maybe the Phoenix Suns, and y'all will take them out in 6.
If it even goes that long. Rodney Perry, what's your take?
Oh, damn. Okay.
Wow, a little cocky. Yeah, you heard that little
Cocky, yeah.
Hey, whoa,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna put in
Frank.
Frank.
That long.
Look for Frank in Pornhub.
That's
Look for Frank on Pornhub because he's real cocky.
He working out. He cock diesel right now.
You can, because I don't hear nobody say anything different. You can. I'm very.
Listen, all right. How about this? You better watch out for Milwaukee. How about that?
Yeah, you said the same thing.
Because that's the monster in the East.
Craig, I'm not going with you right now. You had the same.
I know
thing.
you're not.
I can. You want me to?
You can't. No, you
Yes,
can't.
All right, let's talk about. We want to talk about what you said about Brooklyn last year. You said the same thing. You want to talk about?
I didn't say nothing about Brooklyn last year.
You said Brooklyn.
Last year I picked Golden State and they won the championship. Remember that?
I remember you giving me money because of the bet you lost. That's
Man,
what I remember.
listen.
And you said
How
Brooklyn.
about this?
And you
The
said
Golden State Warriors won the
Oh,
championship and I picked them before the season. How about that?
you got okay. 1 out of 5 ain't bad. Rodney Perry, what's your take?
One out of 5.
1 out of 5 ain't bad. That's not bad.
What's the 5, Frank? Name them.
1 out of 5 ain't bad. Go ahead.
Name the 5.
Go ahead, Rodney Perry.
Now you
Sorry,
just
Rodney.
making stuff
Sorry
up, turtleneck.
We'd like to apologize, Rodney. Your time has been taken up.
I know. I'm sorry.
What is the question?
I like to yield my time to the gentleman,
Golden
Mr.
State
Perry.
Warriors tomorrow. What's your take?
like to yield my
He's just mad
I'm
because the
sorry,
Golden
Frank,
State
I didn't hear
Warriors
you.
broke
One
their
more time.
foot off in the Celtics
versus
behind.
Golden
How about
State
that?
Warriors. What's your pick?
Poor Rodney thinks we're still talking about the French guy.
Celtics versus Warriors. Who you got?
I mean, the Warriors are on the skid. I don't see them recovering. I like the Boston Celtics, man, and I hate to say it, but it's a fact, man. The guys are looking great. They're making moves, and they have their core. They still have their core, and they didn't change a lot. Although they did lose the coach, and that in itself could be curtains. But it doesn't look like it. They're playing great, and you want to see these young kids come out there and get a win, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So that's a good thing. Hold on. Let me pull up the next story.
It reminds me when I managed a strip club for many years, and I was over there, and the girls would always be, contending, and it was always the youthful girls that would win.
$1 bill.
But not the ugly youthful ones. Not those.
That's a fact, Mike.
$1 bill.
All right. Okay.
Look, man,
We used to make the ugly girls hold the building up.
All right, let me bring up T. Dame Time came in last night with the Denver Nuggets. Let's see. You think Dame Time and them are coming back with Portland? What you think? Let's see what time we got. Oh no, I think that's the time. That's the time.
It's 54.
It's the time. Yeah, everybody gotta say what they gotta say. T, tell everybody out there how they can follow you. Talk to me, bro.
Find me at dametime.com. That's what I was about to ask. Talent the Comedian on Instagram. Follow your boy, man. And again, shout out to the people over at Red Fox Legacy. We worry about who's gonna win the chip. I already got the chip, bro. I brought the chip home. I brought the chip home. Brought the chip home. Sovala.
All right, Rodney Perry, tell everybody out how they can follow you.
I'm easy to find. Rodney Perry live on all social media. We got a few things coming up. We got Detroit New Year's Eve at the Punchline Comedy Lounge, and Raleigh Durham the week before that, and we might be adding another date this month, and Memphis in January. Yeah,
there it is. Fig, the man who picked the Celtics versus the Bucks, you picked the Bucks. You picked Celtics versus the Heat, you picked the Heat. The Celtics versus the Nets, you picked the Nets, but you don't remember none of that. Fig, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Man, that's so petty. Oh, that was Michael Sean Petty. That was Michael Sean Petty right there.
Is so sore.
No.
Man, that whipping.
No.
Hey,
That ass whipping hurts, don't it, Frank?
Frank,
It's
Frank,
still sore from that, don't it? No, the Celtics got their ass whipped in the
Frank.
finals. You heard
Frank,
that.
hey,
It was
Frank, hey,
six.
Frank.
It's 6 games.
That was scared.
time.
That was
Golden
scared.
State Warriors in 6.
That's
Golden
1 out
State
of 4.
Warriors in 6. How about that?
Okay, you got 1 out of 4.
Golden State Warriors in 6. How about that?
What are you saying?
The Warriors in 6.
What, this year?
They the reigning champs.
Yeah, the only thing gonna be this year is rain.
Just keep hope alive.
I'm not. I don't have to.
Keep hope alive.
How can they follow
Just mess with Jesse Jackson.
Come on, guys. Let's not be mean to each other.
Well, let's be nice. This is horrible.
He hurts. That pain, I can see it. I can feel it.
We're brothers.
That pain is bad.
My pain ain't bad. I got money out of this. My pain ain't bad. I got money.
Mike
out of
John, where can we
Can
find
we
you,
all
bro?
just get along?
You can find me well, not tomorrow, but Monday through Friday, Media Room 360, and look out for the Off Probation Comedy Show, December 21st. I'm telling jokes for freedom. December 21st, Off Probation. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so if you happen to see me with a blunt on the show, just let me work. Just let me work.
Mom, thank you for joining the show with the Get Your Ass Down segment. I'm sorry I forgot to ask you about the Celtics Warriors pick. So you want to get that pick in there too while you tell everybody out there?
Yeah, I'll say it real quick. The Celtics is going to run through the Warriors like Grant ran through Richmond. Cut and dry. Yeah.
That's mean, baby.
Yeah,
mean.
It's gonna be pretty. But listen, y'all can follow me. Follow me on Maurice Smith on my Facebook. I got my video out. It's a spoof off a Pretty Boy Swag called Fat Boy Swag. I'm trying to make it go viral. Tag a couple of you guys in it, so share it for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's real funny too. Fat Boy Swag. You know what I'm saying? Fat Lives Matter.
They do.
All right. No doubt.
That's the show for the weekend. We'll see you all Monday. We're gonna do the rest of these picks on Monday. See who wins. See, I hope you win a lot more money, so you can call me and talk to me. Tell me you got your pick. I know you got. You got the animal picks right from Monday, right? You got the
Yeah,
animal picks?
you know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm doing the birds and I'm doing the animals.
I'm gonna have to start jumping on piggyback on that. Yo, that's the show. We'll see y'all. The show repeats again at 7-11. Thank you all for continuing to watch and continuing to follow. We will be back again on Monday. The show's called Box Seats. This is what we do, y'all. Thank you. Take care. See y'all soon. Peace.
Where's wrong with this people?